was, you know how people are saying, well, you know, they don't have guns in there and they need to.
Right.
And it was, if only all those people in the World Trade Center had guns, you know, they wouldn't have been killed and all that stuff.
I did not see that.
Yeah. And, you know, apples and oranges.
Well, no, yes, apples and oranges, but maybe more like, gee, if one of the people on the plane would have had a gun, they could have done something.
Or the pilots.
Right. Well, yeah, one person on the plane, which I hope the pilots were also on the plane.
Yeah, but I
mean, maybe that's...
I was hoping it wouldn't be the
terrorists?
The terrorists.
Yeah. I mean, that... I think planes...
Well, even if they did, if the pilot had one.
Yeah, if some people... there would have been a chance, right, for somebody to do something to stop it. Rather than
before that.
Yeah, and maybe not have to tackle the people and fight them and crash the plane, right? Which
they were talking
what
about
happened to one of them.
Of course, they didn't think of that. They were referring to the people in the World Trade Center, which, you know.
They don't think of anything logical. They're idiots. They posted right after the Paris attacks, Moms Demand Action did, you know, think about all of the lives that are lost due to gun violence, right? They don't even mention the people that died because those idiots blew themselves up, right? That killed people too.
Right.
They don't even mention those people. We don't care about their lives, apparently, for Moms Demand Action. We only care about the lives taken
caused by
guns.
Right.
And that's a theme through the entire anti-gun community, right? We had the discussion with those morons from Australia.
Right.
The same thing. You only seem to care about the people that get killed by guns. You don't care about people that drown or that get blown up by a terrorist or anything.
Or burglar. You know, and there's violent crimes or beat up.
Yeah.
Or knifed.
Nope.
Or bludgeoned.
Well, look, a knife, you can't kill people with a knife. Actually, that just happened in
Israel,
didn't it?
That, yeah.
People got killed with knives.
Yeah. Well, did you see?
Although there are a lot of armed people in Israel.
Did you see that video of the Israeli that had a concealed carry? It was caught on a surveillance camera.
Saved their life.
The guy came running up to him with a knife, and they backed off, drew his gun, and shot him right in the chest.
Yeah, that'll do it, right?
That slowed him down.
You never know when that's going to happen. Right, I mean, sure, it doesn't happen every day in every town, but you don't know when or where it's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't know. That's why it's nice to, you know, it's better to have a gun and never need it than to need it and not have it.
Yeah, just like a fire extinguisher or an airbag.
Very hard to get guns for personal carry in France.
Yep.
Paris, I don't even know about Paris. They probably don't have preemption, so
pretty well gun free. Yeah.
So the city could actually ban guns, like Chicago did for years. Certainly handguns. Very, very hard to get a gun. I mean, there are guns in France. People hunt and do stuff, but it's very restrictive, and their guns are locked up generally in a communal, club or something where they have to check their gun in and out. Rare for someone to have one on the street. Even the police don't carry. All the police.
All of them, yeah. I think it's optional, right?
And now they're going to allow, it says they're going to allow off-duty police in Paris to carry a firearm. I guess they couldn't carry off duty or something.
Okay.
You know, so they have more guns on the street, but what's the ratio there? 1 to 2,000?
And where were the police or the off-duty police during the attack, right? I mean, what's the chances that there's going to be one in the bar you're sitting in carrying?
And when the magazine company there got attacked, they killed police officers that didn't have guns.
Yeah. Jeez.
AK-47s. Now I hear they're gonna restrict those even more because that'll teach them.
That'll help, won't it?
It'll be harder and harder for them to buy AR-15s and AK-47s in Paris, not realizing that they're being smuggled across the border into the country.
Yeah, right. So
many provided by the U.S.
and not realizing that a terrorist organization like ISIS. They don't care what the law says because generally it's illegal to blow things up and shoot people.
Yeah.
But I want to play this.
You know how you tell a good guy with a gun from a bad guy with a gun?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Tell our audience.
The bad guy with the gun is shooting at people.
Right. Okay.
So I want to play this. This was from Fox News from the 5, Greg Gutfeld, right?
Yeah.
He says a lot of good things. I agree with him on a lot of things. The beginning of this I didn't quite agree with because he made the statement about if you don't allow the refugees in, or no, if you do let them all in, which fine. And if you stop collecting metadata, because then you won't have intel, that I disagree with.
Now, speaking of that, he did mention that, and we edited that out for length, but Rand Paul gave a talk at a college, and he mentioned that. He goes, we signed that bill or whatever for them to stop collecting the metadata. He says, but that doesn't take effect for 6 months. They're still collecting data. Did them collecting your phone data stop this Paris attack?
Doesn't seem like it did, does it?
No.
And we'll talk about that because I want to talk about the refugees as well and the vetting process and some of the laws surrounding that just at a high level anyway. But this is Greg. I think it's a good statement. We did edit out a piece because Brian's paranoid, but
we can tell. We can tell it in there. You don't lose it, but it was
effect.
It was the great guns scene from RoboCop.
From RoboCop,
yeah.
So if we can't protect everyone, then it's up to us to protect ourselves. One solution? Guns, guns, guns. One guy had it right. Since you cannot harden every soft target, we must, quote, let people carry the means to defend themselves. Sorry, President Obama. That wasn't Ted Nugent who said that. That's the Interpol Secretary General Ronald Noble after the Kenyan massacre. He asked, if that was Texas, would those guys have been able to spend hours, days shooting people randomly? Is an armed citizenry more necessary now than it was in the past with an evolving threat of terrorism? Of course.
And I don't know if that's exactly true, that it is more necessary now than it was. I think maybe it's more useful now, but not more necessary.
It's certainly being thought of more now than it was.
Which is the only good thing that's coming of any of this, and it's not worth it, but at least some people are talking about it. Interpol, I mean, that was from last year, or 2013, I think, 2012, whatever.
Yeah, I remember him saying that.
But I think the answer is no. If they were in Texas, they wouldn't be able to do it for hours and days. We saw it, right? They went out, a terrorist or somebody came to one of the anti-Islam rallies, Draw Muhammad or whatever it was, right? And didn't get too many shots off before they were stopped by somebody with a gun in Texas.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's true. Now, Texas laws aren't that great, and we talk about that, whatever. But, yeah.
Don't mess with the USA. Yeah. And I think that's part of the reason. I mean, guns aren't going to protect you from a suicide bomber.
Absolutely not.
That's
right, sure.
Sure. You're in a bus. You're in a big crowd. Somebody walks up and blows himself up, and you're nearby. You're going to be killed or seriously hurt.
Yep.
That's not going to stop it. But they also come in with guns.
Yeah.
Many times. And they did in Paris. They shot a lot of people because they weren't armed. They had no ability to.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as a U.S. movie theater where guns are allowed.
Absolutely. Or an elementary school.
School.
Absolutely.
Very similar.
The new video came out. It was a surveillance video from one of the cafes. And nobody's fighting back because they can't. Right. People are just running and hiding because that's their only option is to run and hide. I mean, think about that. How ridiculous is that?
One guy did, I think he was dialing 911.
He did take out his cell phone.
Yeah. All the good, since half the police aren't armed in Paris.
That's what the anti-gun group wants us to do, right? Is they're saying, well, if you're being attacked, just call the police.
Right. That's what they're
How
there
long
for.
did it take the police to get there?
They are highly trained. Highly trained.
Sure, okay. Even given that, they're not there. How long did it take them to get into that theater?
Long time. Lots of people died.
A long time. There were people in there that had time to put messages on Facebook to say, police, please storm this place. They're killing us. If you have time to get your phone out and post on Facebook, because all you can do is ask for the police to help you. Maybe if you had a gun or some means to protect yourself, you would have time to use it. It's sickening. Absolutely sickening.
I agree.
Let's take a break. I want to talk about the refugees a little bit when we come back. Do you have...
I have a trivia question.
Okay.
We'll come back with that, and then we can do our day in history.
We can, and then maybe after day in history, we can do some more history and talk about Thanksgiving.
Certainly. All right, here's the question. I can't find it. Okay. Which president approved the Star-Spangled Banner as the national anthem?
Ooh.
The Star-Spangled Banner.
Who is it?
I'll tell you when you come back.
We'll be right back.
at odds.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. But doctors have recently discovered they are unable to reverse or control serious side effects, such as internal bleeding caused by Xarelto. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Call now if you or a loved one was hospitalized from any form of internal bleeding or stroke after taking Xarelto. You may be entitled to a cash award and substantial financial compensation. Don't be a silent victim. There is limited time to file a claim, so call now. Call 800-837-9483. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-837-9483. That's 800-837-9483. Again, 800-837-9483.
Hi, this is Jeff Carlisi from the band 38 Special. The mainstream media has failed the American people once again. Internet radio networks like Red State Talk Radio will not fail you. Tune in 24 hours a day. Studios A and B. Great conservative programming around the clock. Red State Talk Radio, the dominant force in Internet conservative talk radio.
The offer of a franchise can only be made through delivery of a franchise disclosure document. Imagine yourself being a leader in America's fastest-growing demographic category. More than 10,000 people a day turn 65, and a large percentage are going to need a helping hand at home or in choosing the right assisted living community. Always Best Care is looking for people who've excelled at everything they've done, but they're seeking a new challenge. Always Best Care is one of the fastest growing companies in this explosive field. We're looking for 25 new franchisees to keep our booming business growing. We'll back you up with the strongest award-winning marketing program in the industry, and we'll provide the special training and support that's fueled our growth to prepare you for this great opportunity. All that's missing is you. Call Always Best Care toll-free at 1-800-643-3819. That's 1-800-643-3819 for Always Best Care. 1-800-643-3819. Call today.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 877-595-5381. That's 877-595-5381. Again, 877-595-5381. Call now.
From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys.
Would you all like to listen to the Ad Odd Show with Nate and Brian? And then come on down in my basement and have a popsicle.
That's Gobbler's Knob.
Yeah.
You know where Gobbler's Knob is,
No,
don't
I
you?
don't care. What? Why would you do that? Okay.
No, Gobbler's Knob is where Punxsutawney Phil
yeah, okay.
sees his shadow.
That's fine. It doesn't matter.
It does matter to people
doesn't.
that want to know about Gobbler's Knob.
Here, there's nobody.
Nobody?
There's nobody. By the way, that whole shadow thing, it's a hoax.
Is it? Doesn't work?
Does not work. Hey, who was the first president to sign, well, the only president, right, to
approve.
What was it? Approve.
The Star-Spangled Banner.
Well, what do you mean? Okay, go ahead.
Made it official, I think.
Yeah, made it official, right.
Herbert Hoover.
Also invented the vacuum cleaner.
Yep.